this, as you look back on the whole thing, is this a successful season, or is success simply only measured with this team because this is the regular season had the winner?
There's a goal at the beginning of every year, and that's to win the Stanley Cup. And you work hard the entire year to build something to put yourself in a position to achieve that goal and reach that accomplishment. And so, by that standard, the season was not successful. It fell short of where we wanted to be. I think that, if I'm being honest, I think that there was a belief that was built through the course of the season, not just with our players, but with everybody that's surrounded by our players, the organization and the fan base. There was a belief that we were going to get this done. And we truly believed that we were going to win the Stanley Cup. And I think you have to have that mindset to give yourself an opportunity to do that, to be successful and to actually win it. And so with that comes a lot of disappointment, a lot of hurt, an emptiness in your pit, or your stomach, that you didn't get to where you wanted to go. So we didn't accomplish what we wanted to accomplish. There was a lot of positives from this year. There was a lot of good things that came from it, but ultimately, it's disappointing and frustrating for everybody, every New York Ranger fan, the organization, the staff, the coaches, the players. We wanted to get somewhere together. I believe we can get there, With everything that we went through and the mindset that we had going into this, I think guys are not only disappointed but probably angry too, like frustrated and angry that we're not still playing and it's not us in the finals. We ran into a good team and we didn't win enough games. And so there's more than goes into it. I think the guys want to go back to work. I think they want to, I could be wrong. I don't think so though. I think we're going to come into training camp and get after it and then attack the season. Every team plays the game different. We're not Florida. We don't play like them and how they play the game. We found success doing it our way, and we weren't able to get through them. I don't know if that necessarily means that we don't get through them next year. And every year is different, and the same team doesn't come back and win championship after championship after like new champions are crowned every year. We can get better at our game. We can get better with what we're doing. We'll have young players that continue to grow and gain more responsibility and more impact in the game. But just because we didn't get through Florida this year doesn't mean that we can't get through them next year.
Well, somebody was talking about how hard it is for them to operate against that team, and there's no space. Are teams like that in the playoffs a particular challenge for a guy like him who does so well in space?
There's no question that there's a reason why they're there. They played well against us. They played defense well against us, and this wasn't something that they did just against us. They were doing it as the season ended. They did it in the first round. They did it in the second round. They did it in this round. They defended well. I believe that our players can find success against a team like Florida. We didn't get it done, so we'll have to be better at it the next time we get an opportunity.
Obviously aware that Jacob missed time. We saw him out at the end of the regular season for that stretch of a month or whatever it was. You just kind of revealed more of the specifics of that. Does that factor into the time of that, how that affected him, that layoff going into the playoffs, and maybe how you evaluate what you saw? I mean, how did you evaluate what you saw once he came back?
I thought that he came back, and I think he did an excellent job as a captain. Like, he came in here and our team found success. He plays the game a certain way. He brings physicality and heavy minutes for us. I think when players come back from an injury, I think it takes a minute, and some injuries even more so. And I've mentioned that with other players, whether it be Kaapo or Adam Fox or whatever it might be. And so there's a period to get back up to speed, and you're working to do that. But I thought he came in and gave us his minutes, his physical, impactful minutes. Those things happen all the time. Like there's a lot of things that go on inside of a playoff run where guys are banged up, for not just for our team, for any team, and they battle through it. For the most part, these guys battle through it. If it becomes something where I feel like it's affecting the line or the D pair or the team, I think you have to make decisions then as to whether it's best to have them in the lineup. And so those are actually some of the decisions that I had to make during the playoffs. Whether for different reasons, but everything was to be for the good of the team and what was best for the team with regard to who's in the lineup and where they play and who they play with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's things that you're proud of, memories that you'll have. Obviously there's that empty pit of not getting it done, and ultimately that's why we're here. That's why we all want to play. That's the goal, and we didn't achieve it. Yeah, I mean, put that to the side. There's a lot of things that you can be proud of, and pretty proud of the effort and the team that we have in here. It's a close team. It was fun to be a part of. Great group, and come back and be ready to go next year.
Does that give you the belief when you look around the room, look at the organization, look at the coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, I think belief was there definitely in the room, within the staff, within the organization, within the fan base. There's a lot of teams I think I've been on that you hope. I think a hope and a belief are two different things, and I think this team had more of a belief than a hope, and that's what you want. I think you want everybody in here believing that we can win, and I think we do, and come back and give it another crack next year.
Do you think you have the components to win a Stanley Cup with this group?
Yep.
Why?
I think it's all here. I think it's a lot of regular season wins this year. I think it's a good mix of guys. I think a lot of guys bring different things to the table. It's a strong team. We ran into a really good Florida team who played a really good game, really good series. But we're right there. We feel like we're right there. Got close, makes it hurt probably even more. Yeah, I think it's in this room.
Now that you have a few days to reflect, just the biggest takeaways from that Panthers series.
Playing a good team. They 2 points behind us in the regular season. Obviously had the experience of going to the Cup Finals last year, and they were tight games, but ultimately I think I guess it's things to say, they were better in that series. It's the little things, I think, but I mean, it went their way this time, and give them credit. But I think it's still disappointing. I don't think that the disappointment disappears just because you come to a realization of that. I think you can have two thoughts in your head at the same time. So that's a good thing.
What do you look back on with this season? It's done.
Obviously, it's very fresh still, very raw, very disappointing, but we had a pretty incredible year. Of course, the regular season, and we didn't obviously accomplish what we set out to accomplish, but there's certainly some things that we can take and learn from and come back and be better.
Do you feel like this? People always say we're close. You guys got about as close as you can get. Do you feel like this group can go all the way?
Yes.
For lack of a better term, the window could be closing next 2-3 years, and that just has to happen soon.
I feel like whenever I do this at the end of the year, that I get fielded that question. So that's not something that we consider. I mean, we have a lot of key core guys that are very young. We have a really good blend, which I think is really important to have success at the NHL level. have an opportunity this summer to like I said, to get better, to improve, and to come back and to build on what we just did, to be even better as individuals, as a group, and to get ourselves to the that extra 5%, right, to get ourselves over the hump.
When you look back on this team, what do you think you'll remember about this group?
I mean, this is every year. I mean, you go into it, it's sometimes new players every year, but throughout a season, you become a family. I mean, truly become a family. You become extremely tight with every guy in this locker room, and every year you build new relationships that you take with you for the rest of your life. I mean, this sport has brought me some of my best friends in life, some of my family members. So, looking back on this season, I don't think that'll be any different. We became really close as a team, and obviously we had a fantastic regular season, won the President's Trophy, most wins in team history, and I think a lot of those things you're going to look back on in a lot of years and look at those things in a positive way. Obviously we didn't get to the end goal, but I think it was a great season for us.
Vincent, do you think you're close as a team? Do you have a belief in this locker room as you look around that you're close?
Yeah, absolutely. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, won 6 games. It was a team that's been to the Cup Finals 2 years in a row now, and at times this year I don't think we were. I thought we were unbeatable. I think there was some inconsistencies too at times, so if we can just fine-tune the game a little bit more, I think we're right there.
Is there something specific you could tell us?
I was, able to play, and once you're out there, you're expected to perform. So, I'm not going to sit here and say, hurt or anything like that. But I think when you're on the ice, there's an expectation to perform, and I think that's the goal.
What was it?
Yeah. I mean, it was same knee as the hit before, and just kind of re-aggravated a little bit. So, but like I said, was able to play, and just tried to play the best of my ability.
Did you feel like your mobility was limited, at least as far as being able to play the way you wanted to play, do the things that you're used to being able to do?
Maybe at times. I think anytime you hurt something, maybe you try and be a little tentative, but I thought after it, maybe at the start, and then as it went on, thought got better and tried to create a little more, but definitely that Carolina series, maybe a little tentative, and then thought it got better as it went along.
So when you look back on the playoffs for yourself, what do you take away from it as far as your performance and where you felt like maybe you could have been better?
Yeah, I think, especially for me, it's, relied on to produce, and you want to get, a bit more production, obviously. That comes in different ways, and, obviously would love to get a few goals in there, some more assists maybe, but again, that's sometimes it's a bit of variable. You could still be making plays and not, some games we were, defending a little more. It's hard to, create a bunch when you're doing that, but, for me, just, there's still other factors that, penalty kill, defending, power play. I think you try and just feel out certain games. Sometimes you're going to, be able to produce. In other games, it's trying to defend harder, and sometimes you're just going to have a bad game here and there. But I think for me, obviously, you want to have a bit more production and be that difference, especially in games that are so tight.
2 years ago, you were coming up on a contract, and I asked you actually, do you want to stay here? And you said yes. Is that the same feeling? Do you think your future is here?
Yeah, we'll see about all the things over here. I like it. Like, the team is great. Everyone wants to win. I feel here's, chance to win. Like this season, it's going to be about the same team. I think next season. So I like it here.
Kaapo, do you feel that you need more opportunity, more ice time to be able to grow in the way that you would like, or do you feel like you need to show, you need to play better to earn that?
Yeah, like I said, I got the chance. Like that was first line with Mika and Kreider, so I can't say I never get the chance. So if I would be a good enough player at that time and playing those minutes, doesn't matter who was there with me. And I'm not saying that that wasn't a good line, but just never worked out. So I can't say that. Yeah, some games, you know, you play under 10 minutes. That's hard to do something. I feel like that, but yeah, then you somehow just to try to play better and get the ice time. That should be the mindset.